KUAM TVH, first on Guam. KUAM News headlines are presented by Calvil's Insurance, protecting Micronesia for 85 years. Matson and the Adahi Itano program. Apply at matson.com. Cars Plus, Guam's leader in sustainability and electric vehicles. Learn more at carsplusguam.com. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, serving your local breakfast, lunch, and dinner favorites for over 45 years.
Ahead on KUAM News Primetime.
The search continues for a 50-year-old man who went missing here off Tangisan Beach Sunday. Local, federal, and military partners aiding in the search. I'm Mitsuki Hirayama with the details.
Plus, traffic delayed for hours on Guam's busiest street after a truck hauling a barge breaks down. The incident catching the attention of many caught up in the slow-moving traffic.
And public schools are given more time to comply with the health and safety requirements. But does this mean students will be going to campuses that are unsafe?
Hapade and good evening. Welcome to KUAM News Primetime. I'm Nick Delgado.
And I'm Destiny Cruz. Great to have you starting your week here with us.
Well, a multi-agency search and rescue effort continues for a 50-year-old man who went missing at Tangisan Beach Sunday afternoon. Authorities getting the call yesterday at 4:24 p.m. of two distressed swimmers, one of them safely located on shore.
Now it's a race against the clock and weather before the rescue efforts become a recovery mission. Mitsuki Hirayama has the details.
The search continues for a 50-year-old man who went missing while snorkeling Sunday afternoon off Tangisan Beach. The Guam Fire Department receiving the initial call yesterday at 4:24 p.m. for two distressed swimmers at the Dedado Beach. GFD spokesperson Lieutenant Nick Garrido says upon arrival, units were able to locate one swimmer, a 45-year-old man who was able to make it back on shore.
He was treated and transported to GRMC and has been discharged. He had some minor injuries. The other individual is a 50-year-old male who's still unaccounted for. As of yesterday, we had the U.S. Coast Guard, the HSC-25, and GFD Rescue out doing a search.
Now it's a race against the clock as local, federal, and military partners resume their search amid hazardous weather conditions.
This morning at 06, search efforts were back underway. We have currently done 2 dive operations already. We also have the Guam Army National Guard Lakota in the air, as well as our GFD drone and Guam Police Department out there helping us with the search.
Rescue units doing all they can to locate the man soon before they have to switch gears to a recovery mission.
We still are in the rescue, going into the recovery mode at this time, yes. Due to the time and the amount of hours from the last scene.
In meantime, Garrido reminds the public to take caution in the waters with more heavy rain and winds expected this week.
Currently, just adhere to the Guam Homeland and Office of Civil Defense's releases regarding weather and high surf advisories. Also, if to all the boaters out there, if they do see anything, please advise and call it in through our 911 center.
Anyone with information of the missing swimmer is asked to call 911. Mitsuki Hirayama, KUAM News.
2 people are killed in a serious car crash over the weekend. It happened around 5 a.m. Sunday along Route 1 Marine Corps Drive in Asin near Limtiaco Circle. Guam police say a man and woman were inside a blue sedan headed north when the driver lost control and went off the road, crashing into a concrete pole.
Both were rushed to area hospitals but died from their injuries. Authorities have yet to release the couple's names. The crash remains under investigation. This now brings the total number of deadly crashes in Guam this year to 17.
A woman is rushed to the hospital after a serious crash in Jigo. It happened along Route 1 Marine Corps Drive around 2 p.m. today. Multiple viewers submitted images quickly circulating on social media.
Yeah, you can see a sedan earlier in that image there flipped, badly damaged in the parking lot of the Jigo Payless. The Guam Fire Department rushing there to the scene. The woman was unconscious and not responding. Medics performing CPR on her as she was being rushed to Guam Regional Medical City. Her condition and her identity not yet been released, and the cause of the crash remains under investigation.
Well, it took nearly 12 hours to get a heavy barge back up on a trailer and on its way down to its destination in PD.
Yeah, still the mess it caused down there along Guam's busiest roadways, hard to miss.
Every morning I do that walk just to keep myself in shape.
60-year-old Vincent Walker is a retired U.S. Marine who was walking along Route 1 Marine Corps Drive in Tinian early Monday morning when he came across the unexpected.
I've been preparing for the United Airlines Marathon next year in April, so usually I do a 15-mile run to prepare. And I was doing a walk this morning down from ITC to Ganya just as a warm-up, and that's when I saw the incident.
Walker has called Guam home for the past quarter century.
I was surprised. I saw all the traffic backed up from Docomo all the way down to East Agania. I had my camera with me, as I always do when I go out on my runs.
The incident first happening around 5 a.m. By sunrise, dozens in the community quickly shared images of the barge. Guam police say it was being trucked from the Smith Bridge Yard in Jigo, headed to the C ramp off Route 11 in PD, when the trailer hauling it broke down.
The large containers that was blocking the southbound side of the road was completely blocked off, and the Guam Police Department had the traffic stopped from that side of the street from Bank Pacific all the way down to Alapang Cove. So no traffic was going that way up at all, only northbound traffic.
Guam Highway Patrol braced for the traffic nightmare ahead, advising the public to take other routes during their morning drive.
I thought it was some type of military container at first because of my background. To see these large containers stuck in the middle of the road, I thought someone had jackknifed or there had been a major spill or something, because there were a lot of GPD officers there stopping vehicles from coming by. But as I got closer, I saw it was a commercial company. That was the issue. And that the tires had blown off for some reason. I guess it was too heavy, and the tires had exploded, and they were trying to fix that.
He was able to finish his walk before sharing his experience with KUAM. Drivers were forced to find alternate routes, which only caused traffic delays elsewhere. The Tinian Mayor's office also assisted Guam police with traffic flow, but Tinian Mayor Luis Rivera says the incident left her stunned.
Wow, it was a real shocker to us. I was getting all these messages and photos of this, this trailer with a big, item on it right on Marine Corps Drive. And I don't recall ever seeing a permit or anything in regards to a transport of that, with that, though, the permits that we receive regarding transporting equipment and things like that, with Smith Bridge and the contractor with the power plant, all those issues. So the person I was dealing with was a Mr. Simon Camacho. So when I saw that this morning, right away I called up Simon and I said, Simon, what is this? Is this part of your your project? And he goes, oh no, I don't know what that is. Right. So they have all these trucks that say Smith Bridge on it, and then GPD was there as well. So then I called up my command, Sergeant Chavez, and he wasn't aware of it either. And then he did mention that Highway Patrol was out there escorting. So I was like, wow, I never saw that. And my council members were asking me what is going on. And I'm trying to figure out, because usually when there's road construction or anything going on, I send out the information right away so that everyone's aware, have consideration, because, timing is very precious. And, so to make people be aware, plan their routes if there's something going on. And so wow, we were shocked. And then come to find out, that they thought that this transport will be done, by sunrise, and they didn't expect for that issue or problem to happen. So if everything went smoothly like how they planned, we wouldn't have been faced with that chaos, that big traffic jam.
KUAM reached out to Smith Bridge for comment. GPD says the roadway was finally clear and all lanes were back open just before 4 p.m.
A Saipan police officer with 7 years on the job was arrested on Friday after a ballistics report conducted by Guam police confirmed that it was his government-issued firearm involved in a shooting of a minor in May. Officer Raymond Saralu was arrested for aggravated assault and battery and storage of firearms with bail set at $50,000. The case involves 2 minors who were playing in a relative's home in Cagman on Saipan when one of the kids found Saralu's firearm and accidentally fired the weapon in May, injuring a 7-year-old boy in the face who was medically evacuated to Guam.
The child reportedly returned to Saipan in June and is in stable condition. CMI Department of Public Safety PIO Fred Sato told KUAM that Saralu has been placed on administrative leave without pay pending the outcome of the case.
A Superior Court judge seemingly tired of another delay in the trial of the woman accused of drunk driving into a Tinian restaurant. Defendant Nikita Agan is back in court earlier today after taking a month-long pause due to unspecified health issues. Her attorney David Lujan, who however was a no-show at Judge Alberto Tolentino's courtroom as he was off-island. His place for the time being was attorney William Graves. After Graves asked on Lujan's behalf to have a pre-trial conference the next week, Tolentino seemed frustrated with the request and said enough is enough.
Are we going to be able to start the trial next week?
Your Honor, I prefer not to address that. I think Mr. Lujan is in a much better position to address that.
The court has an interest in controlling its calendar. The government has an interest in pursuing the case and to conclusion. But most importantly, Ms. Ogden has the right to an expeditious resolution of this case and not to be paying over attorney's fees over the past. When did we start?
November of 2022.
November.
Well, Your Honor,
I mean, you know, that's it. It's a misdemeanor case. And, you know, she would have spent close to a year in pretrial release. If I had stringent conditions on her, she would already be have served her time. Whatever.
The last pause went on for several months before witness testimony started back up again in June of this year. Again, she's on trial in connection with the February 2021 crash at Jerry Kitchen. She faces charges of driving while impaired. Her defense contends she was not the one behind the wheel that night. Her trial expected to start again on August 15th. After a heavy debate over the upcoming school year, Guam Department of Education students can now legally return to their campuses come August 23rd.
Still, education and government officials are doubling down that they will not send students back to unsafe conditions.
Now that public law allows for Guam Department of Education students to return to the classroom this school year, there still remain concerns about sending public school children back to unsafe campuses. But government and education officials are making it clear that despite Guam law, they aren't letting up on providing a safe and healthy learning environment for GDOE students, faculty, and staff. Guam Education Board Chair Dr. Mary Okada telling KUAM student safety remains at the forefront as the GEB stands ready to support the GDOE Superintendent, Dr. Kenneth Swanson, in seeing that through.
Yes, the law gives the authorization, but we will not lose sight of the fact that, you know, there's a lot of work still left to be done, and we trust that the superintendent and his team are going to continue to move that forward, because now all eyes are on the Department of Education to ensure that we're not just saying things, that we're actually going to do what we intend to do, and we will support the superintendent in his efforts to bring students back to campus, to safe, clean campuses that our students deserve.
The governor, in a similar vein to the GEB chair, doubling down that the education bills she signed into law do not give Guam DOE a free pass.
I just want to also assure the public that none of these legislations for free rein in terms of not following the monitoring and not following the standards of facilities so that our students are in a safe and healthy environment. The schools will continue to repair, renovate. What it does is it primarily gives the schools another year to do it, which was originally the law.
The governor even taking the time to again criticize the legislation authored by Senator Chris Barnett.
It's Unfortunate that because of the lack of research and thinking, Senator Barnett had flawlessly passed this piece of legislation, Public Law 37-4, which I think was the crux of the reasons for the chaos, the anxiety, the uncertainties, right, of our people, and especially parents and students.
She says further that the pieces of legislation will fix those uncertainties. However, it will not fix everything, adding, though, it is a start. Among other measures, Guam law now authorizes the expedition of variance applications under review, in addition to pushing back Guam DOE's mandated timeline to comply with health and sanitation rules and regulations to school year 2024-2025. Furthermore, Guam DOE can now temporarily hire retired GovGuam maintenance and facilities workers to fill vacancies, as Guam DOE is subject to a monthly status report to the legislature.
A new contraband bill signed into law in the CNMI, providing local authorities with more power to convict those involved in smuggling items into the Saipan prison.
Regional correspondent Tomas Manglotnia reports.
A bill imposing harsher punishment for those involved in promoting prison contraband is now law.
It's an extra tool in my toolbox to do what I need to do to eradicate contraband coming into the facility.
The law now authorizes local prosecution for possession of contraband. The law clarifies what exactly is prohibited, along with penalties for people who introduce, possess, and promote contraband in correctional facilities.
If a staff member was found bringing in contraband, we would detain that individual and call the police. The police would come over and the individual would be arrested right on the spot and charges would be brought against him. Whereas in the past, I'd have to handle it at the administrative level, which would probably mean termination at that point, or resignation and legal termination, depending on the situation. With this bill in place, my hands are tied. So if you decide to bring something small, you're still going to get charged.
The law defines major contraband to include firearms, controlled substances, and electronic devices. Minor contraband includes alcohol and money. A conviction for major contraband could place a person in prison for no more than 4 years and with a $1,500 fine. A conviction for minor contraband could lead to no more than a year in prison and a fine of $1,000. After the bill was signed into law, the commissioner published a department-wide memo informing officers that there will be zero tolerance for noncompliance. He said he will fully enforce the law.
It's a deterrent. It's a huge deterrent, for any individual who's going to think about bringing anything in.
Tomas Manglotnia, KUAM News, Saipan.
Thanks, Tomas. Well, it's time to get your laugh on.
I'm LOLing already.
If you didn't see our new post at KUAM News or on Instagram or at Team KUAM on TikTok, then you are going to want to get in on the action now so you can get your hands on a pair of Joe Coy tickets.
Love the drum roll, yes. The highly anticipated Joe Coy show, there are 3 of them coming up this month, sold out. So to get you all excited to get yourselves a pair. Yep. Starting tonight and each night this week on Primetime, we give you a password.
Then by Friday, DM us on IG the phrase for your chance to get the win. So let's give tonight's password.
The password is we. The password is we.
Did you get that?
I got that.
Okay, keep it watching. Still to come on Primetime, the latest with Guam senators' talks to pass a budget for GovGuam.
Plus, Guam's governor responds to a 9th Circuit Court of Appeals ruling that essentially prevents telemedicine abortion on Guam. That and more when your news leader returns.
But first, did you know you can catch your local news and shows right now on Peacock?
That's right. Just check out peacock.com/local to get you going and subscribe today.
Watch KUAM TV 8 live on Peacock. Check out our live channel, NBC shows, live sports original programming, movies, plus so much more. Visit peacocktv.com/local or download the app and subscribe today.
Only Pizza Hut lets you surround your favorite pizza with greatness. The one and only stuffed crust pizza tempts your taste buds with melted cheese stuffed inside that amazing crust. And at just $18.99 with one topping, the stuffed crust pizza is truly irresistible. So grab your slice of pizza perfection with cheesy goodness baked right into the crust. The stuffed crust pizza, just $18.99 with one topping. Only at Pizza Hut, the island's best.
The wait is over, Guam. The all-new state-of-the-art car wash is now open at Cars Plus. Introducing Finish Line Express, open 7 days a week. The all-new cashless drive-thru car wash is also the largest car wash on island that can accommodate vehicles such as lifted Jeeps and full-size pickup trucks. Just roll up, pick a wash, insert credit card, or show your EverWash app and roll through. Plus, power vacuums are available to clean the interior. Show your vehicle some love today at the all-new car wash at Cars Plus in Mighty. Open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Ask that we recess until Wednesday to allow our colleagues an opportune time to review the substitute bill and be ready. And we begin Wednesday morning at 9 o'clock with the Committee of the Whole, with the following agencies: Department of Administration, BBMR, Revenue and Tax, and OFB will be present for the Committee of the Whole on Wednesday at 9 o'clock.
The fiscal year 2024 budget bill, as currently substituted, identifies some $1.16 billion in total general fund, special fund, and federal grant revenues. That's an increase of about $140 million compared to last year's total, which was $1.02 billion. The legislature has until the end of the month to submit a spending plan to the governor. The new fiscal year begins October 1st. The governor might soon have a bill on her desk that would negate a recent Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals ruling that essentially prevents telemedicine abortion on Guam.
Leon Guerrero says she disagrees with the court decision and points to the widespread use of telemedicine for many other medical processes. Nestor Lecanto has more.
The case involved two Hawaii doctors who were fighting to continue to allow for medication abortion counseling via telemedicine. But the Ninth Circuit ruled in favor of Attorney General Douglas Moylan's motion and vacated the district court's preliminary injunction against Guam's in-person informed consent law for abortion access.
I don't agree that you really have to have a face-to-face consultation to provide necessary information, diagnosis, and treatment. We do teleconferencing in medicine throughout all forms of disease processes or all forms of conditions, right? They do telemedicine for cardiac, diabetes, all those, you know, and those are much more, I think, complicated kinds of concerns that have to be met.
The governor says this is particularly important for places that are underserved, like Guam.
We don't have a person that does abortions here, and so we need to find other quick alternate options so that these women can have the quality of services that they need. Of course, face-to-face is good, but if you cannot have face-to-face and you have to have the service, there are also just as good options for healthcare delivery.
Meanwhile, Senator Will Parkinson moved quickly to try and negate the effects of the appeals court ruling. He's introduced legislation that essentially authorizes telemedicine abortion counseling and removes the face-to-face requirements.
I haven't really seen Senator Will Parkinson's bill thoroughly to make a comment about it, but I do know that it is supporting options and quick access to abortion.
The governor did not say such a bill. Nestor Lecanto, KUAM News.
Thanks, Ness. Well, it's day 6 of Department of Public Health's Guam Innovative Readiness Training Medical Mission, the effort offering free health care services.
KUAM's Jillian Hernandez takes us inside the University of Guam Capitol Fieldhouse in Manila and shows us why this service is so important for our community.
Some military medical volunteers were slightly intimidated, to say the least, by the number of residents lining up at the Guam Innovative Readiness Training Medical Mission for almost the past week.
Remember, we're soldiers, so we're used to seeing high-stress environments in other contexts, particularly combat. So in this case, I look at that and I go, boy, that's big, that's intimidating, but we're safe. You know, we're going to do a great turn for the community. So it's like, bring on the challenge.
Partnering with the Department of Public Health and Social Services and other federal partners, Day 6 of the medical mission that's open to those who have Medicaid, MIP, or uninsured, had another large set of residents from all across the island lining up for free healthcare services such as dental, vision, physicals, and vaccinations. Delano resident Gianna Navarro was with her 3-year-old son Xavier and her cousin Keith De La Cruz at the event. She said that insurance on the island can not only be difficult to come by, but very costly. And because she and her family don't have insurance, they go to these medical events as much as they can whenever they pop up to get all of their health needs met.
Sometimes it's not approved or our job doesn't have available with being part-time or full-time. I do understand for some factors of the job that they applied for, it's hard for them to get approved by the insurance company, or the insurance company doesn't provide that sort of health care that the worker needs. And plus, since most people have families, they do need the family insurance, which costs a lot of money. And money is such a huge factor that they have houses to pay for, cars, transportation. It's just hard to add medical into that situation.
It's just difficult because money is such a big factor, and no insurance to dental, for example, or to go get shots. Everything costs money.
Navarro said she tried to get Medicaid for her and her son, but the process, she says, was difficult.
They didn't get back to us as soon as possible. We always had to call them, and they'd be like, well, we'll let you know, but it just never happened.
Sinohania resident Travis Vincent agrees with Navarro and De La Cruz on how money plays a huge part in weighing in the necessity of healthcare insurance.
When you make minimum wage in the private sector, you're making like $10 an hour, still not enough to cover all that. So
let's say your job even offers medical insurance. Would you still take it, or?
I wouldn't, because that's basically taking about anywhere to $700 to $800 a month just on insurance alone.
Right. So even if they were able to provide these services, it's taking so much of your paycheck.
Yes.
What does your family normally use the money for? Whatever.
Pay rent, pay utilities, food, cars, pretty much everything, the necessities to get by.
Although he and his family are under Medicaid, he says there's still many limitations. Even the process to set up a doctor's appointment can take longer than it should.
You would have to get approval first, and that takes a few days to get the approval letters, and then you would have to find a clinic that takes in Medicaid patients.
And that takes a longer process?
It takes a longer process. It could be anywhere from a couple of days to about a week, depending on the approval.
And what if your family's really sick and you're working? How does that work?
It kind of stresses out it takes a stress on your brain, because then you have to find a way to get the immediate care that you need, but then again you have to go through the process that takes a little longer.
Although Dr. Joseph DeAngelo was not aware of the full context of how healthcare is on the island, he knew that Guam is considered to be an underserved area.
Much like Guam, I live on the big island of Hawaii, so we're very underserved there as well, and we have a lot of issues and a lot of problems with shortages of doctors. So unlike some of my colleagues that come from the mainland, come from more typical environments, I really empathize and can understand what it's like here to have limitations.
As of news time, the medical mission has assisted over 2,500 people for the past 5 days, according to Officer in Charge Andrea Bowers. The medical mission will continue until August 10 at the University of Guam Cabell Fieldhouse from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Bowers highly encourages residents to stop by and take advantage of all the free healthcare services, as well as help them get outside assistance once the mission is complete.
It is also very important that we provide the follow-up care, and we've partnered with the Guam Department of Public Health. So we're making sure that the services we provide for the 10 days that we're here, that we also make that connection with the community partners, so that we can have those persons that do seek care here also have that follow-up care in their own community.
For more information on the requirements for the medical mission, visit KUAM.com. Julian Hernandez, KUAM News.
Remembering the lives lost 26 years ago. The community gathered at the site of the Korean Air Flight 801 crash Sunday in Nimitz Hill.
Multiple government of Guam leaders and families of the victims attended this ceremony. It's all to remember and honor the 229 lives lost in the crash back on August 6, 1997. Governor Lulian Guerrero stating, "We honor the memory of those lost that day while cherishing the strengthened bond shared between our two countries that we see today."
And over on Tinian, a peace ceremony was held on the anniversary of the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki at the end of World War II. Tinian's Northfield, once the largest airport in the world, was the launching point for the atomic bomb attacks against Japan. Today, the bomb loading pits are encased in glass, marking the space where the first atomic bomb used in combat was loaded aboard a B-29 aircraft and dropped on Hiroshima on August 6. On August 9, another plane took off from Tinian with a bomb that was dropped on Nagasaki.
It is up to us to make sure that we spread the message of peace, reconciliation, and hope as we remember the victims of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Let us also honor them by working to eliminate the threat of nuclear weapons and the devastation that they cause. The Tinian Peace Ceremony is a call to action.
Japan Consul Tomoaki Yoshise joined the Tinian leadership for the ceremony.
And even as they commemorate the World War II bombings in Japan, the U.S. military is preparing for any potential future attacks against Guam. Top officials were here last week for a series of scoping meetings to answer questions and gather input about environmental concerns surrounding a planned 360-degree missile defense system. Local leaders, including the Chamber of Commerce, the legislature, and the governor, were also briefed.
Of course, one of my biggest focus was how does it give us a 360-degree shield, right, from incoming missiles, whether it's cruise missiles or ballistic missiles, or how does that do that, right? These radars are going to detect, incoming, so it can be intercepted before it reaches our island. And it's very key and crucial that we do this 360 degrees, very comprehensive, tight defense system. And so that was part of our discussion. Of course, we talked about housing is an issue because that means more people coming to Guam.
The governor says they also talked about land issues, and while 95% of the system will be built on military property, if more space is needed, they will pay fair market value for it. Veterans in the Marianas have until August 9th to file for retroactive benefit claims under the Pact Act. In September of 2022, President Biden signed the Pact Act, which expanded health care for veterans exposed to radiation and toxic chemicals during their service dating back to the 1960s. The VA has been visiting Saipan and Guam to register those who served to ensure they get the treatment they need.
If veterans are not able to reach the VA clinic on the island, the national enrollment line is open at 1-800-827-1000. More than 400 bags of trash were collected by the Summer Youth Program kids.
Yeah, it's part of their day of service cleanup as the island's youth get in on the storm recovery process.
From the paint to the trash bags and more, Guam's youth recently coming out in full force, spending this summer break giving back to their community. These are the photos captured during the governor's Summer Youth Employment Program. The children collecting more than 450 bags of trash during their day of service cleanup held last week at various spots across the island. Department of Parks and Recreation Deputy Director Jack Hattig and DPR Acting Director Warren Pelletier say the extra hands on deck came at a time when the department needed it most.
There was a lot to do. I mean, post-Mawar recovery, and then just the 60-plus parks and the recreational facilities alone, we welcomed the Department of Youth Affairs' request for more interns to join the program. So we had divided up our interns. Together we were joined, I want to mention that we were joined in partnership by the Civil Service Commission, the Department of Public Works, and also the Agana Heights Mayor's Office, which also gave their interns So we were very happy to partner up with these other agencies and instrumentalities for our section.
We still had the interns continue out to do other projects that were ongoing and planned prior to this event. One of them was to the group that's with Will's Tinian, and why Will's included in this interview is we've instructed him, and he had planned to address the skate park, Dedido Skate Park, which has been inundated with homeless people. But so we work with OHAP to help get them get some sort of help to see if they can get them some homes, some assistance possible. And then we also had our park police up there to make sure that they were vacated the area and not there while the kids and Will and his group up there painted the two pavilions and the bathroom up there as well. That's been a long time coming. The area still needs a lot of help, the buffer zone up in Dedido. Because of the Typhoon Marwar, we have over 60 parks, and we're addressing each park one at a time. I believe we're at now 26 or 27 that we can actually say that are open, and then we are addressing the smaller ones as they come. And skate park is just one of the facilities that we wanted to attack that needed some attention.
It's at the skate park that was littered with trash and graffiti that made this effort so much more important for DPR Recreational Administrator William Stinnett.
They've been really helpful. We're lucky to have 33 summer interns here at the sports complex. They were excited to work from day one, and painting was something that I've always told them that we're going to do, but due to weather, we didn't do as much painting as we wanted to. But fortunately, that skate park was a priority for the administration and the deputy and the director. So we're able to partnership through businesses and nonprofit. We're able to get some paint and some supplies and kind of go out there and refurbish, Dedido Skate Park. And there's more to come. I was hoping for better weather. The kids were excited to really go out there and paint a lot more, but at least we're able to really beautify that part of the island and the skate park.
The cleanup followed the interns planting more than 1,400 trees in Molesu. The 5-week summer youth employment program included teens ages 14 to 17. Participants gained real-world government entry-level work experience, got a chance to improve their interpersonal communication skills, obtained career choice advice and educational guidance, made connections for future career opportunities, received mentorship by positive adult role models, and earned a paycheck.
If we had the number of employees as we did the number of interns, imagine what the Department of Parks and Recreation can do. So that says a lot. And I think that I've always said this, that DPR sails on 3 ships. We sail on a partnership, and we sail on citizenship, and we sail on stewardship, because we are stewards, caretakers of our island. We need to create partnerships to do it, because we can't do it all on our own. And it's up to us to get the education out there to our citizenry that they should have a better idea of citizenship when they take care of our parks. Like what the director said, take out what you bring in, respect your parks, love your parks.
The teens were also treated to pizza following the cleanup.
The focus here is to become one DPR. We've changed the atmosphere here, and we're moving forward. And the thing is that for the people to understand, it is their parks. It's not our parks. It's everybody's parks. And so if everybody chips in a little, and takes the time to take care of the parks while they're there, and take out what you bring in. That is one of the things we instill in the 100 kids here.
I appreciate it. Hopefully they had a good time, and the program, in my eyes, was a great success.
Great job to all the interns out there. Now, San Diego filmmaker with Guam roots will be making his way to Guam to gather interviews and footage for his new film.
Joe Nagin-Charfros chats with Bo Ugin and learns what inspired him to focus on the Sakmen and why it's so important.
Bo Ugin was born and raised in San Diego, California, but has 7 roots that run deep. His last visit to Guam was back in 2008.
My grandpa, Pete and Dolores Ugin, they came out here in the 70s, and raised my dad up here in National City. All of the village we're from is Yamatic. I still see my uncles and my aunts all the time because they come out here all the time.
After years in marketing, Uggan made the jump and started his own production company about 10 years ago.
I think from a young age, I always wanted to be in some sort of like storytelling, journalism. I think as I kind of reflect back, I think it may be due to like this feeling that my voice, like I wanted to explore other people using their voice so I could kind of relate to seeing how I could use my voice. What I love about it, the industry is, it doesn't matter who you are, what you look like, what spaces you come from. Your work in connecting with people and using film to share stories speaks for itself and helps you connect into doors that weren't possible.
We were taught more about the vessels of other countries than the very vessels of our own people.
Fast forward, Uggan is pouring his heart and soul into a new film, Sakman, The Legend of the Flying Canoe. The idea for the film was magnified by a project he was hired to do in 2021.
I got a lead from a friend in advertising to respond to a project for a Native American tribe, the Oglala Lakota tribe, and they needed specifically were asking for an indigenous filmmaker to help tell their story. They immediately said, "You're the right guy, because you are reconnecting to your indigenous roots, and we are wanting to create a piece that reflects people reconnecting to their roots." Had just a incredible experience telling that story. At the end of it, I was like, I think I found my calling.
At that moment, he dove into a lot of reading and research and found himself connecting with Mario Borja, the director of the Sakman Chamorro project.
That was when it first dawned on me through his story, the significance of seafaring to our people. Maybe it's because I was raised here or what, but I didn't realize how significant the invention of the Sakman was to our people. I didn't really fully appreciate or relate to how ingenious and brilliant the design was to our. It wasn't just a boat that we used. It was something that the entire world was talking about. I was like, I have to learn more about this. I have to learn more about my ancestors' seafaring, navigation, and that began the seeds of the project.
Uggan will be stopping by Guam and Saipan in the coming weeks for about 8 to 10 days of filming and interviews.
I want to connect with other peers, cultural leaders, people that are really just kind of have the experience that I almost envy being like not like reconnecting, and I want to get their perspectives, be just, submit the whole effort to the voices of other Chamorros that are living and breathing every day the air that I'm really wanting to get out and breathe.
Uggan, through the project, says he has been honored to connect with people such as Cara Flores of Nihi Indigenous Media and Dr. Michael Bavacqua.
It's a big project to think about, but there's been a bunch of other Chamorros here even in Guam that have like kind of, hey Bo, I see your passion. I see that you're wanting to do this. Whatever I can do to aid in producing, advising, support, let's do this.
In the meantime, I invite you to visit sakmanstory.com to not only learn more about the film, but also how you can donate to help bring this passion project to fruition and to the masses.
I've created a concept trailer to share my heart, my backstory, my point of view as a diaspora Chamorro, wanting to really reconnect and tell the story, this beautiful story to the world. The world needs to see how beautiful our people are. They need to see that we're still here in spite, we're thriving. There's Chamorros that's heart is burning with the love for their people to express their voice and their passion for their people in all walks of life, on island, off island. I'm just one of those. I am honored to do something like this. I'm blessed to do it.
Junigan Charfris, KUAM News.
Oh, great job there, Vo.
Yay,
we
thanks,
got to go out and
Joan.
support.
I know, amazing. Well, in other amazing news, the action was happening this weekend down in God's country. The crowds joining in on the celebration for this year's Guam Micronesia Island Fair in Talafofo, sponsored by the Guam Visitors Bureau.
Looks like a good time.
Right? Oh my God. Inatnan Mantauta Micronesia, organized by Valley of the Ladi, Jeff's Pirates Cove, and Country Club of the Pacific. We caught up with the GVB spokesperson Josh Taikenko during the celebration.
There's really something for the entire family, but to add to that, not just Micronesia is represented here, Taiwan, where our Austronesian roots are, is also represented. So we have with us today Xingting. Yeah, Xingting. She is a Taiwanese influencer and singer. She's very popular there. And then also we have our Taiwan marketing coordinator, Regina.
I'm Regina with the GVB Taiwan Marketing.
Yeah.
So it's an honor to be here. Thank you again to Valley of the Ladi, Jeff Pirates Cove, and Country Club of the Pacific for having us. You know, one thing that's really great about these local events is that we get to not only perpetuate the Chamorro culture, but also introduce newer cultures to the island.
An incredible time, of course, to spend your weekend here in paradise. That's our victorious Falon enjoying GMIF over the weekend. You can catch more on his adventure coming up in the next edition of the One Micronesia Show. Well, with just a tap and a swipe of the finger, beauty lovers were instantly transported to a new dimension of beauty.
That's right. One where you can use one-of-a-kind AI technology to generate a signature perfume based on your personality, or even change up your look in an augmented reality mirror.
Serving.
Right? That's what participants got to experience at Tea Galleria by DFS Guam during its Beauty Night Out on Friday. But the fun didn't stop there. Event goers also got to shop over 15 luxury brands to the beat of exciting music, even getting to fuel up with delicious food from Kitchen Lingo.
That was a good one there, Des. To the beat.
To the beat. Can you imagine shopping to the beat? I love that.
Or just walking in and having you all done up as you go.
Literally transported to another dimension. But if you weren't able to make the event, don't worry. Throughout August, enjoy in-store offers, a chance to win exclusive prizes, and more.
There's your chance to get all your deals, because you need that makeup, huh?
We do.
We sure do. Now for a look at your world at home.
Here's a view captured over the Talafofo River during the Guam Micronesia Island Fair celebration over the weekend.
This view plus more Chamorro music streaming now on Isla Digital Radio.
I'm in class waiting for meal time to grab me. Dreaming about making my taste buds happy. Soon as the class bell rings, I'm making a rush to McDonald's to munch something.
Now for a limited time, try McDonald's new cheesy jalapeno McMuffin at breakfast or on a quarter pounder the rest of the day. Only for a limited time.
Are you up to date with your COVID-19 vaccines and boosters? Getting a COVID-19 vaccine, even after you've recovered from a COVID infection, provides added protection against the virus and protects you from getting seriously ill and being hospitalized. The CDC recommends that all eligible persons stay up to date with their COVID-19 vaccines and boosters per their recommendations. Get the booster for protection. Remember, prevention saves lives.
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around. Whoa.
life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
Go! Welcome to KUAM Sports.
Here's our partners with Clutch Guam giving us the final score.
The wait is over, Guam. The all-new state-of-the-art car wash is now open at Cars Plus. Introducing Finish Line Express, open 7 days a week. The all-new cashless drive-through car wash is also the largest car wash on island that can accommodate vehicles such as lifted Jeeps and full-size pickup trucks. Just roll up, pick a wash, insert credit card, or show your EverWash app and roll through. Plus, power vacuums are available to clean the interior. Show your vehicle some love today at the all-new car wash at Cars Plus in Mighty. Open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week.
Honey, do you want some milk?
Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores?
Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, we work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the CNMI, and Micronesia for the past 25 years, and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
New chicken nuggets from KFC? Everybody's gonna want these. Let's eat these inside.
Try new Kentucky Fried Chicken Nuggets. You've never had nuggets like these.
All right, here's your news bites.
Okay, everybody, we here at the KUAM Care Force, along with our friends at Raising Cane's and the Foundation for Public Education, have a wonderful event we want to tell you all about. And that's why I'm sitting up here, because this is News Bites, and that's what we do. We want to get the Guam Department of Education school students ready for classes. Let's send them there with all the tools that they can be successful and be awesome. So a back-to-school drive is being held on Saturday from noon to 2 at Raising Cane's over at the Micronesia Mall. You can drop off backpacks, binders, lined paper, glue sticks, pencils, sticky notes, folders, crayons, and more. Kids need these tools, and we need to provide it to them, and we're happy to do so. Let's get our kids ready for a successful school year when they head back to school. Back to school. You know, shout out to Billy Madison. Great movie. Go check it out. Be Heartfelt, speaking of amazing organizations, has extended their annual shoe drive until August 14th. You can drop off gently used or new closed-toe shoes at the following locations: Famous Footwear at GPO, the office of Senator Dwayne St. Nicholas, or mayor's offices in Tamuning, Inilahan, Jigo, or Mingilao, and the protocol office at Adaloop. Shoes are distributed to kids as they get ready to start the brand new school year. And if you are up in Saipan, shout out to the 670, the Music Performing Arts Competition Corporation is presenting the first 2023 amateur singing contest, Battle of the Voices. If you're old like me, we used to have this thing called Battle of the Bands down at Just Pirates Cove. It was super awesome. So shout out again to our friends at Saipan for doing Battle of the Voices. This will be held on the 19th from 3 to 9 at the Multi-Purpose Center. You could win $1,500 and a fully paid off-island trip to, you know what? Come down here. Come down to Guam and gig. We will happily entertain wonderful singing. Really excited to see what they have up there in Saipan. And now, if you are not on our newsletter, we want to invite you to participate in that as well. All you got to do, go to KUAM.com, hit the newsletter tab, and then sign up to receive it. It will be sent straight to your email address every Friday. Speaking of back, Nick and Destiny, back to you guys.
Now to your Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club shout-out submitted on KUAM.com.
Happy birthday on this Monday. It is the 7th today of August, and we got some belated birthdays to get to. It's never too late to wish somebody a happy birthday, all right? We know this at KUM, and we're so happy to do this. So, happy belated birthday, because born on August the 4th, Zion Vincent. Happiest, fast, and furious 4th birthday to our handsome boy, aka Little VJ. Just know, your shout-out says, no matter how old you get, you will forever be our baby boy forever. Lots of love from your mommy, Angel Daddy, your sister, Zaimani, Zairi, Jerica, Jadison, and Angel Baby Alyssa, and your Pangolinan and Pakaigui families, and the whole Bellator's family, and they say they love you very much. And happy birthday to the one and only Peter Duenas, please. Enjoy your special day and stay safe, and enjoy your travel adventures in Alaska and Iceland. Man, you're getting some miles there, Pete. Love your familia near and far. And ladies and gentlemen, just tell you what, shout out to my friend Logan over there at Cold Stone Creamery, because go to the mall, go check out Logan, say KUAM sent you. He's going to make you the best ice cream you have ever had. I guarantee. Good people there doing good work. So shout out to Logan and his team over at Cold Stone Creamery, and shout out to all of our birthday celebrants today.
And that's your primetime show.
Good night.